There's a Transformers Prime game that is rapidly gaining traction and progress with dozens of artists and hundreds of pictures. Transformers Mercy is a YouTube choose-your-own adventure story game with a trial version for Part 1 playable online. You can already get a taste of the story playing as Predaking and deciding to spare, hurt, or kill Starscream. But there is so much more to this project, and this video will leak the behind-the-scenes secrets and what more is being made right now. As I keep talking, enjoy the many art scenes and character concepts that you haven't seen before. You're basically getting several Transformers shows coming out, but in the form of a free visual novel. You don't need to buy or download anything, it will just be available to the public on this channel, and to play, you click the links at the end of each video to continue on. Have you ever played any of Markiplier's story games? It is just like that, but even bigger and with Transformers Prime. Let's take a look at the summary of the game once again for the newcomers. Mercy tries to act like a natural sequel to Transformers Prime, staying accurate to the lore and rules of the continuity. Play as Predaking and abuse your power or use it to help others on Cybertron after the war. Discover different regions and other planets, survive the tension as Autobots and Decepticons return home with neither Optimus nor Megatron to lead them, and face final bosses. Maybe you played the trial version already, thought it was great or decent, but guess what, it will get even better. Everything in Part 1 will be improved with a new game screen and the stories will continue, but more on that soon. If you like what you're hearing so far, continue donating to the project on Ko-fi or Patreon. Most artists who work on the project are paid per picture, and your donations are used to help pay the artists. So it stands to reason more money, more art, the faster you get new videos. If you are also an artist yourself who would like to volunteer or be commissioned, contact me through the Beacons link. You can find my different social media contacts there. The donation links are pinned in the comment section, and you can donate as little as $3 to as much as you would like. The game includes several different stories, and by playing them all, you will learn everything that happens between Transformers Prime and Robots in Disguise 2015. You get to see how Cybertron is rebuilt, how all Cybertronians come home, and learn whether they were and why they were not present in Transformers Prime. You get to see over 100 new characters, such as IDW characters redesigned for Transformers Prime and given new personalities, backstories, and roles. We have our own Overlord, Sunder, Freud, Rung, Whirl, and Cyclonus, and all the Predacons who never made it into Transformers Prime. Remember being disappointed that Predacons Rising was about dead Predacons and not an army of new ones? Well, now you get to see Predacons actually rise. Mercy has 10 main plots, and each one is like getting a long new Transformers show. Think about it, every video could be about 20 minutes long, and if you get 60 of them, that's a show. Haven't we always wanted a continuation of Transformers Prime? And here, Hasbro can't stop me or seize control of the writing. This is not an ad for toys, this game does not need to censor violence and dark themes for kids. It gets into the horrible past of Cybertron and focuses on character emotions, motivations, and development, with no pressure for time, budget, or profit. There are bloody fights and disturbing moments, but of course it's not just a gritty, depressing game. The darkness is the secrets you learn, but there is so much exploration and friendship. You can visit other planets, discover nature and animals of Cybertron, help rebuild cities, and investigate crimes or assist crimes. Starscream can be your friend, Autobots, Decepticons, and even Vehicons can be your friend. Every story is guaranteed to give you one new Predacon named Ripclaw, the one who is being cloned in Predacons Rising. There are lighthearted moments where you can just have fun flying around the mountains or drinking at McAdams. And then there are challenging and scary parts of the game where you have to escape Overlord's prison alive, run from Sunder as he pursues you, or hide from the DJD characters in an underground maze. Every story has a threat, and it's a unique opportunity to get to play against the major IDW villains yourself. You can actually play the first two examples I just gave. The Overlord story is written, which means the scripts for the videos are done. All we need now are for the chapters to be edited and for the pictures to be made. I posted the Overlord story on Archive of our own. It's called the Space Adventure Storyline. Here is the summary. The war is over, and now you work with your Predacon brethren at a spaceport welcoming refugees back to Cybertron. Soon, you join Bumblebee's mission to travel to other planets to bring back Autobots, Decepticons, and colonists in need. Your adventure takes a dark turn when you meet the Decepticon General Overlord, a former gladiator who presents as calm and charming, but is actually the most dangerous Cybertronian in existence. Now he has you trapped on his planet with his other prisoners, but you must discover his weakness and escape with your lives. Now there's a challenge. You arrive on a planet, and a Decepticon general who has gained invincible armor traps you and your crew. If you can't physically hurt Overlord, how do you defeat him? It's IDW horror, with the Gladiator Arena, where Overlord makes his prisoners fight each other for the entertainment of the Decepticons. The game is notoriously hard because every wrong step is the death of you. Overlord will kill you if you make a mistake. Sometimes the consequences of your actions only come late. And if you are sitting there thinking, holy crap, that's too stressful to play, not to worry, I will also release a version of every Mercy story without the choices, meaning it plays like a show. You can just watch a Transformers Prime show, where the characters are trapped on Overlord's planet and have to escape. You can read this version on fanfiction.net, just a playthrough of the Mercy scripts. It's a long story actually. The second story is also playable in the written version on AO3. You see a go to this section for each choice, so you just have to click here and pick the right number. So we had the Overlord story, now we have the Sunder story. The summary is this. Predaking devoured Starscream, and now his vengeful voice fills Predaking's mind. Mad with hatred and hunger, Predaking eats other bots in secret until a strangely calm psychiatrist approaches him. Freud promises to cure him, but his methods are suspicious and he lets no one into his basement. A dark secret lives below, something that isn't Cybertronian. At least, not anymore. This is a pretty unique story, and it's called the Reformed Predator storyline. First, you have crazy Predaking trying not to be a cannibal, then you have a mysterious assassin trying to murder him. Predaking gets Nightbeat the detective to help him, and they meet characters like Swindle and Lockdown while trying to get answers. As Predaking becomes a better person, his psychiatrist looks more and more suspicious. You learn that Freud has a supernatural unicronic creature in his basement, not an undead zombie or vampire, but a new Transformers Prime monster called the Ghoul. And once you enter Freud's basement, something follows you out and now won't stop following you until you're dead. How do you deal with it? No matter how hard you try, it always knows where you are. The third story is what is about to be started, the one with the DJD characters. It's called the Discovery storyline right now. The summary is this. The Predacons choose to explore Cybertron and live out in the wilderness. After a few positive encounters with Starscream, Starscream winds up acting as your tour guide and helper in exchange for your protection from everyone else. But then, the Predacons and Starscream wind up underground and separated. Once you find Starscream, it's up to you both to find the rest of the Predacons. However, you instead start finding members of IDW's DJD down there. And they all want to kill Starscream. Can you survive them and also find your missing friends? Now, the DJD aren't exactly the DJD. Of course, I'm never just going to completely take James Roberts' ideas, but these characters, not a Justice Division, are successful experiments made with powers to better kill Autobots. The first design is Kaon, and you can see he has some creepy sleeves. See, he's not just an electric chair waiting for someone to sit in him. He has mobility, and now he's like a power pack that will try to latch on and electrocute you. He stalks you, giddy and creepy, hoping to give you a hug. Don't be fooled, anyone. Your circuits will get cooked if you let him catch you. Hey, so now while we're talking about designs, let's introduce characters and scenes made by our team of artists. You may have seen some of your favorite Transformers artists on Instagram or Tumblr posting art for Mercy, and wondering, whoa, they're working on this too? Yes, we actually have over 30 artists, maybe many more, but I've lost track. So Kappa JJ here did Kaon, but also Rewind, Browning, Nightbeat, and Cosmos. Rewind and Nightbeat are important characters, and Cosmos is so far a minor one, and Browning is the Easter egg of the game. This tiny robot from Massive Force is hidden in every path, and you have to see if you can spot him. Kappa JJ is also planning to do other designs and is working on Deathsaurus and Fortress Maximus, because now you can't have an Overlord without a good Maximus to fight him. JJ is one of our very kind and helpful volunteers, and there are many more to mention as well. Since the last update video, Daria has become the #1 art donator. She's fast, she's talented, and she is so brave that she willingly chooses very complicated scenes. Have a look at the ones including multiple characters, 3 Predacons being swarmed by countless zombies, and Overlord being adored by his fans back in his Gladiator days. Daria is enthusiastic and keeps coming back to do more. At one point, she was basically single-handedly pushing the art effort forward. You'll see many Overlord pictures by her. Let's go through a few more, though there are so many that I'll have to place some elsewhere in the video, and this one I'll censor for gore and death. Lady and Robots was talked about last time, and she still works hard for me and often dedicates a lot of her time for free. She provides free drawings and helps me with my social media pages. Did you know that Mercy now has an Instagram and Twitter? It's just waking up, and we are together going to post art, advertisements, and one day merchandise with the help of Volpe. Lady is my social media manager, while Volpe is my graphic designer. Volpe helps make everything look good, and her biggest job was redesigning the game screen for Mercy. Sure, there is the mything I did in 2020, but have you seen this? Here is the new look for the game, Forevermore. It's beautiful, uses space properly, and it comes with 2 new features that show how much money Predaking is carrying and who he is able to track in the scanner. Volpe is going to make the official logo of the game next and help us with posters. Volpe also helps me with my own art, like my art editor. Right now, we are improving the emotions of the dialogue faces for strong and clear facial expressions. Back to the art, there are more volunteers to honor for their recent work. I'll think of who contributed the most and try to recall all the others who generously gave pieces. Tsuki is a loyal supporter of the project and now contributes more and more artwork. It's funny how Tsuki keeps taking what are possibly the most disturbing images of the game. I'll censor them just in case. This one is a bot being melted alive, and the second one, well, Mercy has its moments. This is Silas in Breakdown's body months after his death. Yeah, he's looking mummified and gross. If you really want to see these pictures, they are public in the gallery section of Coffee. We have Potato, like, you know, a potato. Anyway, they drew some bold and beautiful pics to accompany a VCon story about why the Autobots and Decepticons split across the galaxy. So thanks to Potato, I will soon be able to post a new part 2 video that explains a special part of Mercy's lore. I'll make this video a public post. Roar provided some pictures too with incredibly difficult backgrounds such as Overlord's morgue and one of Shockwave's old labs. They also got us Prowl, the grumpy cop. Liza, I hope that's how you say that name, joined since my last video asking for new artists on the team. Since then, they have been making some pictures for the Sunder story, including Freud, Rung, and Sunder. You may wonder now why Rung is grey, but that's part of the new take on Rung. Rung, once a meek and helpless bot, grows into a monster-hunting badass that Sunder should fear. A lot of pictures for Sunder and Rung's past will come from Eliza, and they even, for fun and planning, made up a storyboard sequence of Rung defending himself. Mercy is a visual novel without animations, but isn't it cool to see the scene as though it were one? I know we have a scattering of people who have donated at least one image. I'm sorry if I just forget someone right now, just because I can't exactly remember who I paid and who volunteered. But the most recent work, this week volunteered art, is from VBM showing Predaking flying over Iacon. Oh, and what's that? Soundwave light cameos. That was their idea. Happy just made this one a day before this video, so I was able to sneak it in. Of course, there are some people doing free concept art like Mizuki with the Rainmakers and animals like the Razor Snake. Minametia finished all 5 scavengers for free and donated Overlord's alt forms and back references. Daria also did DevCon while we're at it. GK King is doing a few animal designs from the TF Wiki page of animals like the alligator, mechamoth, hellhound, and oxide shark. Other people are as well, such as Under and this BP, maybe you'll get the reference. There are also a few people who donated voice sound effects for when characters speak in a game, but I won't play the sounds here. I'm thankful for the donations and even for the 72 sounds of misfire El Sepio gave me, although I totally did not ask for 60 of those. Now let's see, we can talk about everything else too. More concept art came from Lammy Lord, and maybe you'll wonder what Waspinator could be doing in Transformers Prime. Elusive Dreams made Thunderblast and Slipstream. If you're wondering why Slipstream is orange, it's because she was pretending to be a Junkion. Darksteel drew this character, and you'll see by reading who that is, Rekgar, as well as Thundertron and the Tidal Wave. Forged Cold just got a Star Saber who will have a victory personality, not IDW. Lady did 6-Shot and Katmechu Rung. For some poster art or possible scenes, I commissioned official Transformers artists at TFcon. Lady and Ramos inked and colored some of them so far. Alex Milne's Overlord, Andrew Griffith's Trepan, Overlord, and Sunder eating a spine. Livio Ramondelli's Sunder and Freud, with the Sunder in particular being a favorite of mine. Wildman drew Overlord, but it still needs to be edited and colored too. Daria made a poster for fun as well to represent the Reformed Predator storyline. I also just paid some random artists in the gallery for meme pics, but they need to be colored too. These people weren't fully aware of what they were drawing for, so I just said that Japan was my OC when he's really an obscure character from IDW. Now let's see more from Darksteel, another Daria dump. New art from Chaos Birdie and Unusual Crow, who coincidentally both have bird names. Cactrice drew a wrecker ship taking down a Decepticon one. For fun, we did a few of the shippy scenes in June with some Freud in Japan, Freud in Sunder, and Prowl in Bluestreak. There are some implied romances in the story, but not with you the player, just the characters around you. And they are of course non-sexual and don't even include kissing. Plots don't seem to kiss in the line continuity. It is important to note that Overlord has a massive crush on Megatron and is trying very hard to impress him. Relationships don't have labels, so there is no marriage or dating, but the characters can feel very deeply for each other. Back to violence, of course, I got more from Alex the Master, who you may remember did these dynamic action scenes in the winter. Captain Nemesis gave us Sunder pics and one graphic one of Sunder eating someone's face. Non-violence, I remember that Elusive did more scenic drawings. DC submitted the stunning pic of Predaking and Bumblebee, so that describes the biggest chunk of our new work. What I have been working on is redrawing my old pictures from 2020 in higher quality. That was when I started learning how to draw digitally, and I learned more since then. It makes sense that as Volpe improved the game interface, I would improve my art and the dialogue faces. I'm switching back and forth between drawing old and new, so only a few new pics come out of me, and thankfully, the rest of the work is being taken care of by the team. I have my own rough concepts too for like Leosac, Lysac, Hellbat, Freud, Black Shadow, and Japan, but I think I can do them better in full real art scenes. I work every day on Mercy and need to do a lot of coordinating with artists. I'm super busy, but because of my passion, progress is actually being made. I know that doesn't always happen with fan projects, but it's happening here. We have art, scripts, voice actors, and new copyright music. And if you are a confident artist, you can help us too. For voice acting, you don't need to read lines, just make sounds. I'm looking for deep voices right now, so come talk to me if you can do them. And once again, please donate to Ko-fi or Patreon if you like what you see and want more. Thank you for watching and learning about the story game project, Mercy.